guys, it is Sandy, and my nice camera didn't record the first part of this video, so my introduction and the first layout I did with this glitter did not go, so it's all voiceover, no introduction. Now, I am using this 12 by 12 stencil over a 12 by 12 sheet of white cardstock, and I have not used any sort of gesso or prepping medium or anything on my cardstock. I have different glitter pastes and glitter glazes. I have some glitter kiss, and that is the silver that I laid down. I have some Nouveau Glimmer paste, that is the teal I'm working with, and I have two Brutus Monroe glitter glazes. I have one in denim, and I also have one, I think it's Fallen Snow that I used. Let me open it up here. Yes, I believe it is Fallen Snow that I used, or maybe it's Alabaster. Did I use Alabaster? Yep, it's Alabaster. I actually used Alabaster, not Fallen Snow. So what I'm doing is just taking my glitter palette knife, and as you can tell, I have a dedicated palette knife that I only use for glitter because it sticks to it, and I don't really care if the glitter stays on there, but I just don't want to mix it up with any other palette knives that I have. So what I'm doing is just generously spreading out the glitter paste and glazes around, and I'm kind of letting them mix together. So I'm being careful not to contaminate the tubs that I have of the glitter glaze right now. As you can see, I'm like dropping the white down, and then I start kind of mixing it around, and you can see I'm pulling in that denim color there. So yeah, now at some point, I'm not exactly sure which time I did this, I did contaminate the white a little bit with some of the blue glitter, so I had to like pull it out. I just wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing, and I literally just scooped it right. See, I almost did there too. But this is my art journal off to the side where you see that big colorful glittery mess. I'm just wiping off all of the glitter paste that I used there. So I have that as kind of like a base in one of my art journals. Now this is the part that always makes me so happy when you peel it off, and it looks so cool. It just looks so awesome. Now here I have the second sheet. So I just showed you that I did 2 sheets on that. And I also sped up this second half of the video a little bit more. Otherwise, the video was going to be super long, and I do like showing my whole process. So there it is. It's weird because on YouTube you can see like analytics about your videos and things, and my longer videos do so much better than my shorter videos, and I'm not exactly sure why that is. But this one would have been a little bit too long. And as much as I love to run my mouth, not the perfect length of video. So I am using a couple different papers. So this kind of blue and white map print is from a My Mind's Eye paper pad that I picked up at a Tuesday morning. I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head. The clouds and airplane background back there is from the Chamel paper pad for Go Now Go, and I have to tell you, it has airplanes and I love it. So now I am just taking these little glittery pieces, and I'm making sure that they line up so that the pattern repeats itself. So as you can see, my little triangles are alternating all the way across the page. And then I'm just going to go ahead and add a whole bunch of adhesive because I am making a 2-page layout, if you haven't figured that out already. I mean, it's just what it is. I really, really like the way that this turned out. If you haven't figured it out by now, I'm kind of obsessed with glitter. I even wore some glitter eyeshadow today. Not like huge glitter eyeshadow, but glitter eyeshadow. And I'm like, yes. So I am turning 40 this year, and I am just doing all the things that I want to do. Like, this is totally my year, and I'm owning it, and I'm going for things, and I've wanted to wear this British makeup that we got in at work called Makeup Obsession. And I was like, ooh, maybe one day. And you know what? One day is now, people. One day is now. So there it is. Now I am following the sketch kind of closely right here. It does have that strip on the sketch. So I just used some washi tape. It is the thicker washi tape. I put on some cardstock, and that was just so it would have a solid base and you couldn't really see the glitter underneath of it, and I didn't want that to happen. And then I did that thin little washi tape next to it, and I was happy with that. Now these are the photos, and in the sketch, I believe it actually gives you measurements for how big the photo should be. But, you know, I kind of like to do my own thing, and I'm not really following that. I'm just kind of making it the way I want to. So I'm just eyeballing things right now, getting them as a kind of rough idea of what photos are going to go where and what parts of the photos I actually want to show on the layout. So I do have different parts of the aircraft and just like cool things. Things that I thought were cool were just on this page. Now I decide that I need something behind these photos, and I decide to go with this kind of neon green paper. And this also came from that My Mind's Eye paper pad. And it has more things on it transportation wise than just airplanes. And you really don't even get to see the airplanes. It's more of just the color that's there. And frankly, I'm okay with that. I felt like it needed a pop of color because this was getting very like one-dimensional. Even with the glitter and even with the shining, shimmering, splendid that I have going on here, it was feeling just a little too one-dimensional. The navy and the teal just kind of melted into each other. For me, at least, I felt like I needed that kind of unexpected, bam, here you go, check this out. So that is where the neon green came in. And I think it's just a subtle enough bit on this side that it works. And look at that. I cover up just about all of that shining, shimmering, splendid on the left-hand side. But I'm okay with it. Like, I like it. I like the way it turned out. I'm happy with it. So that's all that matters. So I pull out that paper pad again, and I knew that I had another option for that kind of bright green color. And I decided to pull that out, trim off a little bit, and make that into that long piece that is on the right-hand side of the sketch. Now I do trim this down because really I just felt like it was covering up way too much of the shining, shimmering, splendid on this side. It was just too much. Now this is the 6x6 paper pad for that same My Mind's Eye collection. And man, I gotta tell you, I gotta figure out what it is. It's a travel collection, and like I said, it was at Tuesday morning. So I'm just kind of matting this little airplane right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and mat it again on the camera paper and leave a little piece of the camera paper off on one side so that you can definitely tell that it is a camera paper. I didn't want it for the color. Well, the color was a bonus, but I wanted it for the camera motif. Now I used some unfun foam to prop up that photo so it gives it a little bit of dimension. And then as you can see, that's where I cut off the top of that green little bit. And I felt like I needed a little pop of the green elsewhere on the page. So I went ahead and created this little box over here on the right upper side. And I pull out these Doris gemstones, and they came in one of my Brutus Monroe inspiration boxes. And now I'm just kind of pulling things out of my stash to like basically make this layout work. Like I have the bones of it, now I need to do the pretties. So these stickers that I'm using right now, that tag down below and that kind of tickety looking sticker, actually came from Close to My Heart, and I don't, no idea what it's called. That was a crate paper chipboard sheet that I've had forever and a day, it feels like. Most of it's gone, so that's exciting, but still had a little bit left. Now, on the sketch, there are butterflies as embellishments, and no, we did not do butterflies. I did create kind of this almost kind of representation of the tickets that are across the bottom over here, but really I just created like my own kind of cluster and did my own thing. At this point, I'm really not looking at the sketch whatsoever. I'm kind of just doing what I want and placing things where I want to place them. So this is a brad, and it does have an airplane on it, and of course, you have to put washi tape over your brad tines if they stick out of the back of your page. You just got to. That's just the way life is. So I'm just adding this brad in over here as well, next to that little mason jar that I had pulled out. And the brad on this one has a map on it. So I thought that was completely appropriate, since this is a kind of like, we're gonna say it's a travel themed layout. I mean, it's airplanes, so there you go. Now I am adding some foam squares to the back of things. I'm making sure that I have a little bit of dimension on the page. Now the glitter really does give it depth, and I'm just wanting to have a little bit more. I also bring in some cork because I really like the color mixed in with this stuff. And I'm making sure that I use the same size, or not the same, well, they are the same size, but the same shape cork throughout. So I'm using circle ones only. And like, I just love how it turned out. I think it turned out great. This little fantastic was printed off to the side a little bit, so I tucked it under just so you could kind of center it up. But I like the way it turned out. So you definitely know it's a circle, even though part of it is covered up. Now these also came from Close to My Heart, and at first I thought I was going to just be able to cover up the Fool off of Wonderful, but that didn't work, so I just chopped it off. It didn't work, so I got rid of it. Oh, I'm supposed to be talking. Oh my word. I don't think that has ever happened. I don't think it has ever happened that I have stopped running my mouth while I was doing a voiceover. It's happened where I've run my mouth and not paid attention and talked way past the end of the layout, but I don't think I just like stopped and watched myself scrapbook and not spoke. Whoa. Well, wonders never cease. So I did cut off that full part of the word, and now I'm just repositioning everything so that everything nestles together really greatly down there, and the layers look good, and everything just feels good. This is a little puffy sticker that has the days of the week on it, and I just thought that it added a little bit to the layout and to this big old cluster I have going over here. And I have to say, I'm totally fine with using tickets and travel and stamps and suitcase and that kind of ephemera and decorative elements, even though we aren't traveling. I'm totally okay with that because it fits a theme, so I don't feel like they're random. Now, if I would have put llamas or goats on this layout, that would have totally been random. But in my mind, this works. Now I tried to use some of those word phrases because the color was a good match, but it didn't really work for me. So I just added a little bit more adhesive because I'm always afraid that I'm not going to have enough adhesive and things are going to fall off. That has happened with older layouts that I've had where I was very stingy with my adhesive because, scrapbooking was expensive and we were a very young married couple and we made no money. So anything that I bought for scrapbooking had to last like forever. And now, 21, almost 22 years later, obviously we're in a better financial position than we were when I was 18 and he was 20. So yeah. Now I thought about using these letter stickers to say, I forgot what my title was going to be originally. But I changed it up a little bit, and then I went ahead and used these Chamel letter stickers. They're thickers, and they are chipboard, so they aren't going to stick, so I am going to add adhesive. And I have to say, I'm super, on board with Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, you guys. If you haven't bought yourself a bottle of this stuff, you're really doing yourself a disservice. You have got to try this. You just do. I have gone through multiple wet adhesives and I've never found one that stuck. And this one has stuck. And I don't mean stuck stuck putting paper down. I mean me sticking with this glue. So, yeah. Get yourself a bottle of it. You won't regret it. Now I have just about finished this layout. I am going to lay some journaling down and I'm just going to talk about it, how this is the Castle Air Museum, and I'm probably repeating myself because I have a lot of layouts from the Castle Air Museum and I talk about how cool it was and all the different aircraft we saw, and that's okay. I don't care if I repeat the same stuff because it's just cool. It is literally just cool. I never was a fan of airplanes just in general until I met my husband who loves them. But it's just cool. So thanks for watching, guys. I will see you tomorrow.